All right, listen up. Mando whole body deodorant is a game changer. I had a friend recommend this to me. I have not gone back since. Mando works on your whole body. Pits, packages, feet, you name it. It's dermatologist tested, gentle, and clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. That's 3 days of smelling fresh. Mando's Deo Stick is aluminum-free, dye-free, and doctor-developed. It is perfect for long-lasting, irritation-free protection. Need something on the go? Grab Mando's deodorant wipes. 24-hour odor control without needing a shower. It's like a fresh start in the middle of your day. I got Mando products everywhere. I got them in my house. I got them in my shower. I got them in my car. I got them in my studio. You name it. If I go there, I bring Mando. Mando is tough enough for the strongest body odor, but gentle enough to put on all your sensitive spots. Plus, Mando is cruelty-free, vegan, and made right here in the USA. Are you ready to upgrade? Use my discount code to get my favorite whole body deodorant on the market. New customers can get $5 off a starter pack with the code Chael. That's over 40% off, including a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products, and free shipping. Use code Chael at shopmando.com or just click on the link below. Sean O'Malley is the biggest star in the sport. Now, Sean has a belt to prove his skills within the sport, but Sean easily, not even close, outworks everybody in the sport. The work that O'Malley does between fights and fighters and even your top drawing fighters. Broad stroke. Find a way to monetize their career and up their stock 3 times a year. And the commodity is the performance. Sean O'Malley is putting out a performance closer to 5 days a week than he is 3 times a year. And before Sean had that torch, it was held by Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, much like Sean, outworked everybody in the sport. He found a way to have a commodity aside from the performance, the athletic performance. And I'll tell you one hot on the trail that I would be disagreed with, and that is Belal Muhammad. Belal is not drawing, right? Belal is champion. Let's just look at his division. He's champion of 170 pounds. If we go and look what we can expect his next pay-per-view to do, and we compare that against another 170-pounder called Georges St-Pierre, it's not going to look the same. You'll say, well, why isn't it? But I feel as though the finished product numbers are going to mislead you. I feel like you need to back up. Let me give you a great example. Leon Edwards. If we went and we were to see where Leon was in the sport in terms of being over with you, the audience, 3 weeks after he won the championship, boy, he was hot. Remember that? Remember how hot Leon was? It was the knockout. Heard around the world. I watched that fight. Leon versus Kamaru. I watched that fight at a movie theater. It was the first time the UFC, or at least the first time I heard about it, was showing it in a movie. I went in, I got popcorn, the whole bit. I paid for a ticket just like movie. Could have watched this pay-per-view. It's awesome. It was awesome. Big deal, right? Little things like that, but then Leon's in the right place at the right time, having the right performance. Like, he really popped. I don't think that he's ahead. I don't think if we could go back and look at where Leon was 3 weeks after all of that, this wonderful moment, I don't believe he's ahead of Muhammad. I don't believe if we went back and looked at the numbers of Johnny Hendricks. I don't think if we went back and looked at the number of Matt Hughes. I'm offering these guys because these were champions within the same division. I'm not sure the numbers of Robbie Lawler, and Robbie could be an outlier. I'm not sure that Belal is behind. I don't know that I believe that. I believe he's being compared to the wrong numbers. Oh, by the way, if you look at where Muhammad was 2 years ago and you look at where he is now, that jump has not been done by anybody other than Sean Strickland. Like where Sean was 2 years ago, or you could even back 3 years, or you could even go 4 years, versus where they are now. Like, nobody has shot up higher on the card, in the rankings, in the title, in the money, in the hearts and minds than those two. And it's a damn close push. And Sean also is very, very active at getting his name and brand out there aside from the commodity of the performance. And Muhammad just had a great one, by the way. He was talking about Conor McGregor, and nobody can resist the idea of Conor McGregor. Like, Conor went through a period of time where every time there was a pay-per-view, during the pay-per-view, Conor would steal the thunder from the guys that were actually fighting, and he wouldn't even come to the event to support it. And he would put somebody over. He'd say, hey, how great you look tonight, Frankie Edgar. Speaking of Frankie, I've been wanting to fight you. Maybe I'll see you soon. Like, it was one of these things, and now Frankie has no choice. Like, wow, that would be the huge fight, and that's Conor. I got to go and get that thing. He would have no choice but to try to keep that momentum going, only for the next pay-per-view to roll around and Conor to rip the rug out from Frankie and hand it to Poirier, just for example, who has no choice but to go to the press conference and run with it. And it was one of these things where Conor, who wasn't even there, he didn't deserve the shine. It wasn't his 15 minutes. He still, through the power of a tweet, would command and dominate a press conference that he wasn't even at. Because you'd have to get asked about his comments. So, I'm just sharing for you, like, guys need to see around that. You got to be able to know when they have no chance of getting a fight. Or to understand that denying a fight is still a way of talking about a fight. It doesn't change. You want a headline, you want to keep it going, you don't want to bury it. You can do that also by saying no to it. That within itself creates a story. And I'm only sharing this with you because Blahal is only the second one that I've ever seen do this to Conor. Blahal just did an interview, I think it was on his own platform. He said Conor is a washed-up fighter, but he said it a way cooler way. Like, it was, he said it very funny. He said, you know, he's got the appearance of a washed-out fighter, and he looks like he's on drugs. It was a simple statement, but it popped off the page. I couldn't believe it when I was looking at it. Like, oh my, I read this thing 3 times. And he went on to say that even regarding Conor, if he got a win over Chandler, I wouldn't fight him. I wouldn't give him the opportunity. He's not cutting any line with me at the top. No matter how big that fight is, he's not the right guy. And it was the right way to handle it. It was very interesting. And it's these little things, right? Like, if you want to be the king, you got to bring him down. But you also got to know when to make your move. And there's very few guys who can make a move against Conor because he is going to be the main event. But champions of the world are an exception because they will never fight on a card with Conor McGregor where they aren't the main event. So they're either on a different card or they're against him. All right, you see where it's different? It's very, very different. It's very different why a guy could react the way that Blahal reacted. Conor has nothing Muhammad wants. Nothing. He don't want his ranking. He doesn't want his record. He don't want his belt. He doesn't have one. I mean, right? Do you understand? It's very different. And so it was just so perfect. The only other guy that I've ever seen handle McGregor this way, as a way of trying to get McGregor, is Justin Gaethje, who was only said no to the fight as a way of Billy talking, getting the fight. It's been great. And it got me thinking, I would like, and I've never seen this, if this is out there, somebody send me the link. I don't think it's happened. I would like to see Blahal and Sean O'Malley together. I would be very curious how that would go. Because I know they watch each other, and I know they respect each other, not just from a fighting standpoint, from their understanding of what they do outside of fighting as a way of building their brand. But would they show each other that respect? Would they get along? I don't know. They both have platforms. I'd like to see a swap made. Blahal, you come on mine, I'll come on yours. And then let it go from there. Where they go at each other, where they get along, where they put each other over. Like, there's a way for those two juggernauts. And as much as O'Malley is in the spot, that's true. But the bounce that Blahal has, I mean, in all fairness, you can't deny it. Can't look away. There is no third. You have Blahal, you have Strickland, in terms of what they have done in such a short period of time. If that gets duplicated, all of a sudden we're having a very potentially different conversation about who's number one. And I want to see that. I want to see a joint interview. Not against each other, though it could turn into that. I just want to see it. I want to see the dynamics. If somebody can do this, somebody can get a split screen, or even these guys can do it themselves, make a trade, however they want to do it. But I want to see Muhammad and I want to see O'Malley on the same program.